You know, it's kind of like America's Next Top Model or something like that, where, you know, everybody's hot. You know, so what are your chances? So, I don't know about y'all, but am I the only person who judges whether or not they need a haircut by the amount of gray hair they see on video in the previous video? I feel like that's me. And I was like, okay, that's a little bit too much gray hair for me. Forum, how you doing? How you be? Top to the AB. And we have an interesting video. This is for the Razer Seiren Bluetooth edition. I actually did a video on the Razer Seiren Mini that I liked, which is this guy right here, except for the fact that this guy has a micro USB, if you guys can see that, or if you guys can see that, a micro USB port, which I'm not exactly crazy about, but for $40 or $50, which is what this guy was, for a condenser mic, it actually was pretty good because it kind of gave you a starting intro into being a streamer. You can basically just use this guy, buy this little guy here, plug it into a micro USB, plug it into like a hub for a phone or an iPad or something like that, and use that as your mic. Well, this guy takes it to another level. This guy here is Bluetooth, but it also has a microphone jack on the top of it that you can use for a lavalier. So let's go ahead and open this guy and take a look and see what it's capable of. I also thought that, you know, because this is the Seiren Bluetooth edition and this is the Seiren Mini, that they may be trying to cannibalize their own product line, but we'll see. We'll try them both. I need a cooler knife. This I feel like this is that knife that you get for like 79 cents at Target. While everybody else has like butcher knives and like $4,000 knives with like gold studded that they got on like CSGO. I have a 79-cent knife off of Target. That's kind of the life I live right about now. Okay, cool. So it opens this way. And oh, that's fancy. Alrighty, so it says getting started. It says basically there is a charging port for USB to USB-C for charging this guy, and you connect it to your phone. It supports Android and iOS, and it has a software called Razer Streaming. So we're just gonna take all of this here. Now, this is actually come with stickers, because if it does, that's just too much. Okay, cool. So no stickers, but it does have information. We're just gonna move that over here, and oh, now that is fancy. Okay, cool. Razer stepping up their game in these newer products. So over here we have the USB to USB-C charging cable, which is right here. We're gonna put this over here. And then we have the furry windsock. Oh wow, so you can take this outside. So this is meant to be on phones, because most phones, especially the newer phones like Google Pixel 6 or the iPhone 12 through 14, or maybe even the 11, I can't remember, but a lot of the newer phones don't have 3.5mm microphone ports. For some people, it may be a better option to just use their phone for streaming their face and then hook something up into it for a mic, whether it be AirPods or something along those lines. Interesting enough, the AirPods 2 currently, as of the making of this recording, is on sale for $99. So the AirPods 2 versus this guy here, both being $99, is actually a fair comparison. So it may be in your better interest to maybe pick up these guys over these guys, but we'll find out. So it comes with a furry windsock for wind resistance, as well as a foam windsock for just, you know, spit, stuff like that, mispronouncing the letter R, things of that nature. That's what this guy is for. So actually that is really, really cool, because trying to find these aftermarket has always been a pain, especially when you buy omnidirectional lavaliers that don't come with it. You always have to find these aftermarket, and it's always a pain, whereas these guys usually come with the product. So the fact that they include both is a nice touch. Good job, Razer. So let's go ahead and take a look at the product here. So let's pop this guy on. Okay, I guess this guy is not coming out that way. Okay, okay, maybe this guy is coming out that way. All right, so this is the product here. So essentially it has just one button, it looks like, and then it has a 3.5mm on one side as well as a USB-C on the other. And essentially it just clips onto your shirt. Now, it has an omnidirectional mic, which is 6mm capsules, and it also has a battery life up to 6 hours. Put that in air quotes, around 6 hours. It has somewhere around 10 meters of range, so it's pretty decent away from the actual camera, but typically most people are gonna either have their camera in a standing position, like on some type of a tripod, or they're holding their camera while they're talking. So either way, it should be able to be at a good enough distance to try to get a good enough volume to it. So what we're gonna do here is gonna go ahead and pair this, and we're gonna try it. Now, Interesting enough, we're also going to try the 3.5 millimeter. I have a Rode Smart Lav that we can put into this guy to see if it actually increases the audio fidelity of the Razer Seiren Bluetooth. So we're going to go ahead and try that as well. I just want to make sure that doesn't twist. So we'll try that as well to see if that makes the sound quality any better. This is the Razer Seiren Bluetooth connected to an iPhone 12, and we are essentially using the default settings that came with the app. Now there are several other settings that you can choose from, being a mic gain, a side tone, and a low latency. Mic gain is basically how sensitive the mic is. Side tone is essentially when you connect a 3.5 millimeter mic to the Razer Seiren Bluetooth, it will control how much volume is set for the 3.5 millimeter jack, as well as low latency, which basically decreases the amount of latency between you talking and the game that you're actually playing. Alrighty, so this is a test of the Razer Seiren Bluetooth with noise suppression set to off. The previous test was with noise suppression set to high. Now it is currently set to off to see if it actually increases the audio quality. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Alrighty, and this is a test of the noise suppression set to low for the Razer Seiren Bluetooth edition. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Alrighty, and this test here is the Razer Seiren Bluetooth edition with the noise suppression set to high, as well as low latency turned on, to see if low latency being on affects the quality in any way. You want to compare this to the very first one where the noise suppression was set to high. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. This is the Razer Seiren Bluetooth edition with a 3.5 millimeter jack going into it, which is the Rode Smart Lav plugged into the 3.5 millimeter port, as well as noise suppression turned off and low latency gaming turned on. That should be noted because that's the way most people will run this, either with off suppression or high suppression, depending on the situation. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Peter Piper packed a pack of pickled peppers. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Alrighty, and this is the Airpods 2 plugged into the iPhone 12. Well, not necessarily plugged in, but you get the idea. Connected via Bluetooth to the iPhone 12. This is also a $100 product, and we're going to go ahead and perform the test. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Peter Piper packed a pack of pickled peppers. Testing, 1, 2, 3. It's interesting because these guys, if they can actually fit in your ear, essentially allow you to listen to music, do everything that you want to do, take calls and all that kind of stuff, as well as be able to use them for a pretty good mic if you're trying to do some type of a streaming. So, if it's comparable, these may be the winner. Alrighty, so now this is the final test here for the noise suppression. This is actually going to be on high currently, and what we're actually going to do is we're going to go ahead and plug in my air conditioner, my portable air conditioner, to see if the sound quality degrades at any point in time while the portable air conditioner is charged in. Now this is a big boy, so it's going to be quite loud, but it lets you know exactly what can happen with the suppression. Now this is the highest it can go, so that'll give you an idea of the absolute maximum. So we're just going to turn this guy on right now. Now, to be fair, I have omnidirectional and condenser mics that cannot handle an air conditioner. It will always hear it in the background and I have to remove it in post. So this guy, whether or not it can or it can't, is not a degradation or a default of the product itself. It can happen. It's really hard to get out the noise of an air conditioner or any type of portable air conditioner out of sound fidelity. So don't judge it too much if it's unable to actually work properly or you're unable to actually hear my voice. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Alrighty, and what this says here, we are using the AirPods Pros, just the AirPods Pros by themselves. No settings have been changed in the info section of the Bluetooth settings, and now we are going to turn on the air conditioner and see exactly how it sounds. This is the AirPods Pros on the exact same settings on the portable air conditioner as with the Razer Bluetooth Seiren and the Rode Smart Lav. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Peter Piper packed a pack of pickled peppers. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Okay, final thoughts. I have some concerns. So let's get the good out the way. The good is this guy is extremely portable and it has some really nice features with the suppression as well as the side tone features that will allow you to hook a mic going into it, as well as the low latency, which should help with your audio synchronization between your video and the actual playback of the voice of your audio. However, that isn't really necessary. See, if you're actually streaming in OBS, you can actually change the offset of the audio so that it syncs with the video prior to you actually starting the stream. And if it's anything else, if it's vMix or something like that, you can do the exact same thing. All streaming software allows you to set an offset for the audio control whenever you're using a mic. So that feature isn't really all that necessary as far as the low latency gaming concern is there. So if we take that off, then we're talking about the side tone feature, which allows you to have the 3.5mm lav connected directly into the Seiren Bluetooth. Now that is actually really good. I actually heard the audio fidelity become much more clear when using the Rode Smart Lav. However, this is $100 and this is like $50-$60, and the Smart Lav is great, but here's the thing, the AirPods 2 is on par with these two together, and it's better than this by itself as far as full audio, in my personal opinion. So now it comes to the point where, well, do I recommend it? Well, the AirPods 2 have been out for a very, very long time, which is why they are at a discount. Originally, when they came out, they were like $200 something. So I don't think, when these products get made, they think about older products or people buying older products. But if it were me, see, in fact, nobody's paying me for this. I did all this with my own money. If it were me and it was my money and you don't really have that kind of a budget to be spending your money on, stuff like this, I would personally just buy the AirPods 2. You can listen to music, you have a mic. The mic is really, really good. The mic is comparable to these two put together. So I would actually go with the AirPods 2 or anything past that. So whatever your pocketbook can afford. If you're a college student and hey, all you can afford is the AirPods 2s, my man, get the AirPods 2s. That will save you so much more money than playing this game. Like, why would you do it? Because to go with these two, sure, you'll get the same audio fidelity and the same audio quality, but now you don't even have headphones. I would rather just go with the AirPods 2 and call it a day, or anything past the AirPods 2 will also be pretty good. That is a little bit on the disappointing side. If you have an iPhone, then it's in your better nature just to go with the AirPods 2. If you have an Android, I probably would still recommend the AirPods 2 over these two guys simply because of the price point. This is okay. It is okay. I don't want to cast aspersions and say that this is a bad product. It's not a bad product. It's just, it is a all right product in a sea of great products. The AirPods 2 is a great product, and that great product just smashed this little product. So overall, is it a good product? Yes. Do I recommend it? No. I don't recommend it for the iPhone, and I definitely don't recommend it for the iPhone, and I don't recommend it for the Android, simply because there are better options. I would rather you buy the AirPods 2 and call it a day if that's all you can afford, to pay another $50, and now you have the ability to listen to music in your spare time as well as talk. So you can hear your gameplay as well as talking to the mic while you're gaming through your phone. That is incredible. Just thinking the way technology has gone these days. So yeah, I definitely would just recommend just going with the AirPods 2 on this one. I'm so sorry. I really hoped that this guy was going to be really, really good, but just its competition is so steep. It's kind of like America's Next Top Model or something like that, where everybody's hot. So what are your chances? Which one are you gonna go with? So it's one of those kind of situations. It's definitely modeling level. And that's gonna do it for today's episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. And if you like this video, go ahead and like button. If you really like it, go subscribe. I love you either way. Take care. All the best, and bye.